Hello and welcome to the Soul of Business. Hi, my name is Damien Papworth and I've just put this video together to describe a little bit on what we're trying to do with Soul of Business. It is a program designed for what I'm calling purpose-driven experts. And by purpose-driven experts, I'm talking about you if you have a craft or an art that is driven by your soul. And typically we look at industries like the wellness industry, mind, body, spirit, artists or musicians that have a real soul connection to what they're doing, even passion-based athletes who know that they have a lot to give to the world, but they don't quite know how to, build a business where they can reach the world and reach the people that they're supposed to impact. Over the course of my career in business, I've always been fascinated by these industries, and I've got a lot of amazing friends around me who are in these industries and trying to craft a living out of them. And I've always there's a quote that's often attributed to the Dalai Lama, and I'll just read it here. I've got it on my phone, but the quote is, "The planet does not need more successful people. The planet desperately needs more peacemakers, healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of all kinds." This is the type of person, the type of soulpreneur that the Soul of Business is designed for. And when I see that quote, and when it comes up often on my Instagram feed, for example, when I see it, I think, the problem that I see with that quote is that we see business as a thing that's distasteful or divorced or dissonant, out of resonance with our craft, with the impact that we can have with the world. And I wonder what that quote would actually look like if we looked at it differently, and rather than seeing that the world doesn't need successful people, it needs the peacemakers and the healers and so forth. Wonder what the world would look like if the storytellers and healers and artists and musicians and the lovers of all kind, if these people were successful in the world as the world measures success these days. Because for me, business isn't a dissonant thing. Business can be resonant with what we're doing in our craft, with our soul gifts. And if we see it that way, business doesn't become separate. It actually just becomes a bridge where we reach the people that we're supposed to serve. And that's what the Soul of Business is designed to do. It's designed to create resonance between your craft, between your art and business, so that you can reach the people you're supposed to serve in a way that's wholesome, in a way that you love, and in a way that does maximum positive impact for the world. So how are we going to do that? I'd just like to share, I have a model that we follow with the Soul of Business, and I just wanted to share that with you. So let me just jump across to my iPad and I can show you what it's about. Okay, great. You should be able to see my iPad screen now, and we have a bunch of circles here that I just want to take you through. So what we're trying to achieve in the Soul of Business is, in the center of these shapes, we have this, where everything comes together. We have this amazing business that you own, that you absolutely love. I might just rewrite that in a different color because it's a bit hard to see with that yellow. I like yellow because, it's such an amazing color for when everything aligns and comes together. So what we're looking for here is this business that we absolutely love, and it does everything we need, and it serves the people we're supposed to serve in as impactful way as we can, and it actually maximizes our ability to impact the people that we're supposed to impact by bringing them to us as much as us sharing our gifts. So to actually have this business that we love in this industry, there's probably three elements that we really need to achieve, and I just want to draw them into this model. And one of them is, actually I'll just write business we love, so we know exactly what we're talking about. Cool. So three elements that we really need to put this together. I think the first one is fulfilled purpose. That's the feeling we get when our craft, our art, has actually created the impact in the world that it should be creating. When we've created this impact, that's when we know our life purpose has been fulfilled. And that's a feeling that we get. So that's one of the big things we need our business to drive, is this sense of fulfilled purpose. Now, the second thing, this is one where I think in our industry we sometimes lose focus a little bit, and because it feels sometimes a little bit commercial rather than soul driven. So quite often when I talk about this next element, there's a little bit of an emotional trigger, an ego-based trigger here that doesn't quite sit comfortably with the soulpreneurs that I work with. So this one is appreciated value. And it's really important. So what I'm talking about by appreciated value is the people we serve, there's a manifestation of value in return for the service that we give. And that's kind of important because, like everything in commerce is actually, if we get away from, feelings about money and transactional based stuff and that kind of thing, everything we do is actually an exchange of energy. And if we don't get the energy exchange back, it's impossible for us to fulfill our purpose, and it's possible for us to create a business that impacts the world the way we should be. And that brings me to the final thing that we need to create the business that we love, and that is, change that matters. We need to create change that matters. Now, we need to change people's lives. We need to actually have the impact on the world that our craft promises. So once we have change that matters, and that's reflected back to us with appreciated value, our purpose can be fulfilled, and this sort of, our business becomes our life work. That's super important. So that's kind of where we want to get to with the soul of business, with your business. So how do we do that? So let's have a look at how we do that. There's three parts to how we do that. The first one is transformational alignment. And that's a lot about you. So transformational alignment is about how we make business and all the parts of business resonate with you and your craft, so there's no difference. Your actual business is an extension to your craft, and there's no ego-based triggering, there's no bad relationships with elements of the business. It just works because you understand it's a part of your craft. So the second part is abundant audience. And what abundant audience is, that's the people you serve, and the exchange of energy. So how does all that work in your business? What's your relationship with the people you serve? How do you find them? How do they find you? It's better if they find you. How does that part of your business work? And then the third element, which I think a lot of people in the industry forget, I call impactful legacy. Now, this part's really important to me because, everyone in our industry has the opportunity to change the world. Now, we only can change the world, though, when the craft that we put out to the world grows beyond us and can live beyond us. So the impact we have is left for the world beyond us. So that's one of the goals that I have in the soul of business, is people in this industry, how do we actually create a framework so that the impact we have in our lives carries on beyond our life or beyond retirement or whatever it is? Is it passed down through generations? Is it create a business system that lives beyond us? Whatever it is, I think it's super important that we do, for maximum impact and for betterment of the world, we do look past what we can do today with the resources we have. So that's the overall goal and how we're going to get that business we love. And on the path there's a bunch of things that we want to do on the path there, which all part of each of the different elements. So for example, in transformational alignment, we look at manifestation. So manifestation is how are we actually putting our goals together and putting our targets together and measuring them through. We've got mindfulness. Mindfulness is a lot about, are we getting in the way of things? How are we getting in the way of things as the soulpreneurs, as the craftsmen? And if we are getting in the way of things, how do we recognize that and get out of the way, either through self-evolution, through growing as people, or by creating structures where we're not in the way. And the final part of transformational alignment is hearing your answers. Business is a wonderful mechanism for getting all the answers we need to make sure that we keep growing and developing and so forth, if only we listen. So are we hearing the answers that we're given? So that's transformational alignment. With abundant audience, there's three things we look at with abundant audience. One is surrendering your purpose. And that basically is making sure what you put out to the world is aligned with, the impact you want to have in the world. And then it brings the right people to you so you can have that impact. The second element of abundant audience is your tribe. I'll try to spell it right. How are you working with your tribe? The people that, the entire universe of people that you can impact. How is that working with your business? And then the third element is your circle. The people that are closest to you, your most trusted people in business or in life. How are they impacting your ability to create this amazing business that impacts the world in the most positive way possible? So that's abundant audience. Impactful legacy is the next step, and it's a lot about creating the actual thing, that physical thing that's come from all the love and all the mind and all the emotion and heart that you put into business. So the first thing is I call alchemy. Obviously, alchemy is, turning lead into gold, turning that base metal into the precious metal. And you think about your vision. Your vision, it doesn't really feel like lead necessarily, but it is the base. It's the base to start, what you want, but it's not anything. It's just a vision. Inspiration, it's not anything. It's just a feeling. So alchemy is creating the precious metal, the precious thing at the end. All the things you have to do to make it real in the current world is what I call alchemy. So the second thing is being the change. And being the change is through your business, leading the change that you want. We all have a lot of people that come in and out of our business, be they clients, suppliers, staff, hundreds of different potential ways people and things are coming out of your business. How do we lead through our business to make sure that all elements are in alignment and we get the result that we want, we get the outcome, the impact that we want in the world? And the final part of impactful legacy is gratitude. How do we show gratitude? How does that come up in our business? How does that come up in a way that actually has, maximum positive impact to us and our mindset through business? But also, how does that improve the journey, improve the impact we're having? How does that bring people to us? So gratitude is a massive part of the equation. So, this is a business. If we get all these pieces in place together for your business, you'll have an amazing thing that, will create the impact in your life that you will look back on and feel fulfilled with at the end of the day. And you'll feel fulfilled because the impact you've had on other people's lives has maybe even exceeded what you ever thought was possible. But just before I finish this explanation, I just want to, it's a full model. Like, I think if parts are missed, we'll never get the result than if all the elements are there. So for example, if let's say, for example, abundant audiences are there, imagine we don't do that. And what happens is, we don't have abundant audience. What happens is we it means we're not reaching anyone. We're not reaching the people we're supposed to be serving. So we don't help anyone. So it just doesn't work. We don't have impact. We don't feel fulfilled. We probably don't have a business. So what about transformational alignment? If we don't have transformational alignment, then what happens? Well, we get in our own way consistently. We come to block for our business. We disconnect from our business. And we don't grow. So with all that, without the transformational alignment, we probably don't have a bridge where we're going to reach the people that we need to reach. If we don't have the growth, we're not going to develop the vibe that attracts our tribe, and we'll continually be a block to our own business. So we really need that transformational alignment in the business also, in ourselves. And if, say, for example, we don't do the elements of impactful legacy, if we miss that out, what happens then? What happens then is, we usually get stuck with points of capacity. And the capacity is often our own time. So, if you're doing a time-based thing, there's just, like your service is time-based, there's only so much we can do. And when we start doing marketing and accounting and all that kind of stuff in business too, that shrinks. So we don't do the impactful legacy stuff. We're going to struggle to actually have the impact that we're probably capable of making in the world, which that obviously then deteriorates the amount of fulfillment that we feel and the value we get back, the energy exchange, and it changes the way we can change the world. So we minimises our ability to impact the world, and it stops when we stop. And I don't know about you, but I'd love to see, to know that the change I've had in the world has actually succeeded me and lives beyond me. And, whether people are grateful beyond my life, I don't know. But it would be really, really nice to know that my kids are proud because they've seen the way I've changed the world and they're inspired to do the same in their life. So that's a little bit about what we're doing with the Soul of Business. If it resonates, love to hear from you. Let us know if you're interested in hearing more, and look forward to making an impact in your life and helping you change the world.